chasing the stars, we'll stride into the dawn. Never back down till the battle is won. Face each foe with hearts brave and true, unafraid of the unknown, because I'll face it all with you.
Hello, I'm the reviewer. You review it, I review you. This is my partner, Mr. It. Today we're going to be taking a look at Some Jerk with the Camera's top 12 hottest takes on The Last Jedi. God, I fear the comment section on this video. Yeah, if anybody's wondering why we're not taking a look at the full video, we don't really cover vlogs. Because unless it's supposed to be improv, we don't really like taking a look at unscripted content like that. But this section is very scripted.
My friends and I saw The Last Jedi on opening night, packed house, and we basically liked it.
Oh my god, it was so good! It was so good!
Oh yeah, I remember that. I could hear them freaking out from the next state over. Lord knows how Luke's neighbors felt.
As you wouldn't expect, or at least as we wouldn't expect, people were overwhelmingly dissing it. At first we thought, they're just trolls being contrarian.
I'm not convinced that still isn't the case.
Based on everything we know about war movies, everything about Poe and Holdo's relationship in the first act tells us that Holdo is wrong and old and out of touch and she's being too cautious. And this young maverick hotshot Poe Dameron is gonna save the day by defying her orders and proving himself right all along. The problem with that trope is that in real life it's often just the opposite.
Personally, for a while, I just had a problem with the fact that she had no real reason not to tell Poe the plan until they were seconds away from enacting it.
I felt like there should have been, like, a suspected spy on board the ship, or the First Order had hacked their communications or something.
It wasn't surprising that Poe didn't trust her, because usually whenever someone says, I have a plan, don't worry about it, they don't.
But eventually I realized that despite being the main character, Poe isn't that high up in the Resistance rankings. Not to mention he's still in trouble for disobeying a direct order.
So, while I still think it would have been nice if she had a reason she couldn't tell him, I realized that there was no reason she needed to tell him.
Luke called lightsabers laser swords! Yeah, he's old and bitter.
Plus, it's not an inaccurate descriptor. I mean, it's like getting mad at your parents for calling an iPad a tablet.
Luke didn't act anything like Luke! Yeah, last time we saw Luke say and do stuff before this movie was May of 1983.
I was gonna put a bit here of different canon instances of Luke after Return of the Jedi, but that led me down a rabbit hole that I was not capable of navigating.
I don't know what you were doing in May of 1983, but I was just beginning my third trimester in my mother's womb.
Personally, I was at Weird Al's live performance at the DC Wax Museum. Having access to a time machine is fun.
Why'd they have to humanize Kylo Ren? I'm not kidding. I actually saw someone complain that they humanized Kylo Ren too much.
The closest thing I can think of to that being a valid criticism is just the general desire for a return of villains who are just evil for the sake of being evil. But even then, that's more of a criticism of the industry than the film itself.
Were you in the bathroom during that scene where Snoke is torturing Rey and she's helpless against him and she needs Kylo Ren to bail her out? Which he does? And was your spastic Mountain Dew-soaked bladder acting up again when Luke saved everyone's asses at the end of the movie?
Look, those extra large drinks at the concession counter are really tempting.
You know, Luke, a man with a penis and everything? At least I assume he has a penis. I mean, technically they're all aliens. We don't know what they've got down there. Deviant art.
Oh, buddy, no.
This is not going to go the way you think.
Oh, God!
I don't know what he expected, quite frankly.
Star Wars has been built around twists like Vader is Luke's father, and Leia is Luke's sister, and Kylo Ren is Han and Leia's son, and Jar Jar is Chewbacca's uncle for so long that the only way to surprise us anymore is by saying someone's not related to anyone.
God, the idea of that last twist was so stupid even the camera couldn't handle it.
If all they do is give us what we think we want all the time, where's the fun in that?
Rise of Skywalker!
And the number one hottest take on The Last Jedi is a tie between the Leia Superman scene didn't make sense and Luke astral projecting didn't make sense.
So basically, number one is, the Force doesn't work that way!
Now, I know you want to respond to that with, that's not how the Force works. Go ahead, say that. Say exactly that to your screen right now. I'll wait.
Okay, that's not how the Force works?
Did that feel good?
Not really.
Good. I know some of you have spent your entire lives treating Star Wars like a D&D game, and you think you've got all the power levels worked out, and if your theories don't match up with canon, then your life is a lie.
Okay, this might sound like I'm missing the point, but hear me out.
In the official Star Wars tabletop RPG, you can in fact make a character who is Force sensitive. And while there is a list of Force abilities, they're intentionally written in a broad sense to allow players some creativity with what they do. The only real limit is the Game Master's discretion.
My point is, even in the one place where listing out every single thing that the Force can do is not only acceptable, but expected, they didn't because even they know that the Force can do anything the writer wants.
Like I said, if you didn't like The Last Jedi, you didn't like The Last Jedi. But to call it some blasphemy against the sacred texts is not only wrong, it misses the whole bloody point.
A point that is best, if not a little too obviously, exemplified by Ghost Yoda blowing up the Jedi text.
And at least we can all agree on one thing. That Yoda scene was fucking awesome!
Why do you know what, he's the world's biggest Weird Al fanboy. It shouldn't surprise me that he not only has an accordion, but probably knows how to play it.
In my opinion, this video is a pretty good representation of the discourse that surprisingly still surrounds The Last Jedi today. Not to mention that it would have been so easy just to say that the complaints boil down to just, it's different, therefore it's stupid. Instead, Jerk went the extra mile to see the exact complaints and why he thought they were wrong. A fun video to check out as a fan of The Last Jedi, or at least if you're open to actual discussion about it.
I'm the reviewer. You review, I review you.